everyone, I am Miss Sophia the Diva. I am back here again to talk about the docu-series Xscape. Still kicking it. And this is episode 1. I think this is going to be a 4-part show. And it's all about rebuilding and putting the pieces back together of the defunct group Xscape. Any of y'all, especially those of us that went to high school in the 90s, Just Kicking It was the lick, okay? Not to mention all the other hits that they had. Xscape, Tiny, Kandi, Tasha, Tamika, discovered and produced by Jermaine Dupri. They were the shit, but then some shit went left, and next thing you know, Kandi out, Tiny out, and then Tasha and Tamika, because I think Tasha was supposed to get, or maybe it was Tamika was supposed to get her own gig or whatever, her own solo spot. But I'm like, y'all got to know by now, that's the whole formula. In every group, there's always going to be one solo artist at least. Now, Destiny's Child, that's a different story, because Destiny's Child ended up with 2 major ones, and that would be Kelly and Beyonce, but we know Queen Bee is number 1. I kind of really don't count Michelle. She does gospel, but it always to me sounds like the dragging of a half-dead cat through the streets. I just don't like, I think she's a great harmonizer, apparently. And then, of course, even though LaToya and Latavia, I don't know what she's doing with her life. I know she was on R&B Divas, and every time they tried to get her to sing, she acted like she was scared, like, you know, somebody was going to shoot her if she started singing. I was confused. I was like, why are you on R&B Divas and you not going to sing? This ain't Love and Hip Hop, maybe, because, you know, they can be on there the whole time and never display their talents and still have a job. I'm just saying. And then LaToya Luckett has had a solo career and a great acting career, you know, after Destiny's Child. So I'm just saying, y'all should expect that, and it should come. And I can't remember why Tamika and Kandi were beefing. Maybe it was the solo thing or something she had said. But all I know is that the group is back together after a public apology on Big Ticket Show down in Atlanta. So they're going to get back together. They're going to get ready for the Essence Festival. During this episode, they got a call from Mona Scott. I had no idea Mona Scott was attached to this. But then again, hey. But at least we know this one won't. It probably won't be as bad as a Love and Hip Hop, which is my guilty pleasure and one of my vices. But Mona Scott calls and says BET Awards wants them to come. And Tamika was so excited because she was like, I feel like God has answered my prayers, which I'm like, dang. Now I feel pretty good about my life right about now. I'm delayed by grace. Amen. This is your time. It's your time. This is your season. 2018 gonna be the year. Or 2017 for you guys, because it's already started. So in this episode, we saw another reality star and former wife of R. Kelly, Drea Kelly. I was so stoked to see her because I really loved her on Hollywood Exes. She's going to be the choreographer for this tour. Tamika was late for rehearsal because her tummy, she had bubble guts. I said, shit, her ass probably messing around with that damn skin tea or whatever it is, all them quick fixes to lose weight, baby. Anyway, so I get it, the struggle is real. Maybe you should have saved that for, you know, after rehearsal. Maybe you should have went home and handled it after rehearsal. Of course, Kandi was getting frustrated and irritated with this because, of course, Kandi is the grand diva. She is the biggest success story she feels out of the group. I think. I felt there was a lot of posturing and I'm better than on Kandi's behalf. I was kind of surprised by the bratty behavior, but I also know that that bratty behavior is perhaps a result of anxiety about being shell-shocked about things that had happened in the past. Now, the main reason that they wanted to get back together is because Jermaine Dupri was going to do a unauthorized biography about their life, which it looks like in the previews, he basically said, I just did it to make y'all get back together. And it worked. So I could be wrong. Kandi isn't sure about Tamika's apology too, by the way, which I'm like, well, it apparently was sufficient enough to make you consider getting back on the road. And let's just be real about Kandi. One of the things I always preach about Kandi is always on her hustle. She always about her coin. And so, I mean, do it for the check. Do it for the check. And not only that, do it for your fans. There are people that really miss you guys. I miss you guys. I enjoyed Xscape in my high school and college years. And then y'all just fell apart. And then there was no more Just Kicking It anymore. But one of the things But back to Kandi's behavior. Now, turns out Kandi is not really that much of a dancer. Girl, I feel your pain. I pledge. I did one show and that was it. I didn't step anymore. No. I do get in the stroll line though, but my soror said I can always be the tail. I can't be the ace. I can't be in the front because I'm the rhythmless wonder. That should have been my line name. So when it was choreography dance time, Kandi's standing over there like she smells something. I'm like, seriously, you're just gonna stand off to the side and make faces instead of trying to make an effort to learn. At least make an effort. Set an example. Remember how you pushed Riley to do that song? Better late than never. That's what they say. Also, I was in fear for Tasha's life because Tasha, in her confessional, talking about I am the voice of the group. I was like, yeah, girl, you can sing, but okay. And I did find it interesting that Tamika said that she was fine as long as if she was happy with harmonizing, she never had a need to be a soloist in the group. I thought that was interesting. Kandi also, because of her standing off, she also made a comment about the fact that she feels as though she doesn't fit in and can't get in. And I'm like, get into it, Kandi. Just make the money. Just do it as a one-time thing. What they say, hit a lick. Okay. And then I thought about her song, I Fly Above All the Haters. They beneath me. And I was like, does she feel like she is above, like she flying above these girls and that they are beneath her at this stage of the game? I didn't get it. And I just was like, this is going to be an interesting 4-part episode. We one episode in and Kandi already trying to bail. She feels as though Tiny is not keeping up her end of the bargain. And I guess there's some sort of business deal they need to sign or figure out. I guess at one point Kandi had signed away her rights to the group, which means that they could license anything out and not have to have her permission to go on tour. You know, she had no ownership rights to the name of the group. Tiny and Shekinah are still hanging together. Shekinah has no filter. Tiny's mama is standing right there. You got that look like you getting some dick on the regular. What the who said? But I said, I guess maybe Tiny's mama, she just don't care. She like, that's just how she is. We go to the Scott sisters. They're in the gym with Tasha's husband, who is also a personal trainer. I guess he's her manager and personal trainer. And Tamika was in that boxing gym, honey. She was fighting that heavy bag. She was like, Anybody know when you box like, well, shit, the way I'm sitting, you gotta come 1, 2. 1, 2, give them that 2-piece. And if you hitting, you can hit like this. I also noticed Dr. Jackie was boxing too on her, trying to get her frustration. I'm telling you, boxing, if you can get in a good boxing gym and not just, or kickboxing, it is a great stress reliever. Trust me. But anyway, Tamika out here like she's street fighting, like she gonna go windmill on somebody. I was like, first of all, you're gonna mess up your wrist. That's a good way to mess up your wrist, especially if you're not wrapped properly. But even then, you gonna break it or something. You have carpal tunnel. You don't want that. I do agree because they were making a comment about how she alienates herself from the group. I agree, but like I said, I also think that it's anxiety. There's a little PTSD going there from when it happened. But either way, I'm here for it. I'm excited about Xscape getting back together. I'm curious to see if they're going to make an album. The biggest conflict this episode was about the set list that Tasha put together. I agree with Kandi and T.I. and everybody else who agreed, because T.I. came into a rehearsal because, Tiny and T.I., they gonna forever be together. I don't know why they just don't go ahead and work some shit out and just stay together. I mean, y'all got three biological kids together? Yeah, 2 boys and the little girl. Yeah, Major, King, and Eris. Yeah. Anyway, but I agree. You got to come out with just kicking. And then, just go from there. And then maybe you can close out on a slow song like What I Need From You Is Understanding. But you want to come in hard and leave out hard or whatever. However you want to do it. But Tasha really seemed offended by the fact that wasn't nobody on her side about this set list. Girl, your set list was tied. The folk, you got to get the people first. It's just like in comedy. I come out there and I talk about the elephant in the room, which usually is my big butt. So, that really gets people going, and then I have them. And then I try to close out on a good joke. The life of a creative, it never stops. Anywho, thank you guys for joining. Let me know what you guys think about this very first episode of Xscape's Still Kicking It. what do you think about Kandi's behavior? Do you think that she has every right to give pause to some of the things that are going on around her? Should she stand off to the side and side eye, or should she just jump in and start participating? Come on, Kandi, get into it. We love Xscape. Anywho, thank you guys for joining me. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Comment down below. I have been Miss Sophia the Diva. You guys have been all that. And be sure to make your own magic.